and all the big people are here. Integration anywhere is about two words or three. Number one, prosperity. How can we make our families prosperous? How can we make our companies prosperous? If I produce a product and you buy it, you are supporting my prosperity. If you produce a product or a service and I buy it, I am supporting your prosperity. I have been watching the situation in the world very closely for the last 54 years. Before I was alive, but I was not following things so keenly. However, in 1963, Mzee Kenyatta, Mwalimu Nyerere, and Mzee Obote met in Mbale, the town of Uganda, and declared that before the end of 1963, there will be a political federation of the three countries. End of 1963 came, the other two leaders developed cold feet. Mzee Kenyatta developed cold feet, Mzee Obote developed cold feet. It was only Mwalimu Nyerere who insisted on working for the Federation of East Africa. That's how I became a supporter of Mwalimu Nyerere from that time. When the other leaders developed cold feet, an opportunity offered itself in 1964 when there was change of government in Zanzibar. Because by 1963, when they met in Mbale, Zanzibar was not yet independent. Zanzibar became independent after I think, end of 1963 or early 1964. When there was a revolution there, Mwalimu Nyerere and Mzee Karume formed Tanzania. That's how we talk of Tanzania now. Now Tanzania has survived all this time, and you can tell us, you the experts, because you are experts, you find experts in Africa on the North Pole, on the South Pole, but you don't see the expertise in Africa. So you, the experts, you can tell us whether the unity by Mwalimu and Karume of Tanganyika and Zanzibar was good or not. You tell us, you're the experts. When I was last here, I was told that there are very many Zanzibaris who live on the mainland now, and that many of the properties we see in town here are by Zanzibaris. Therefore, the unit of Tanganyika and Zanzibar gave more opportunity to the people of Zanzibar to come to the mainland, and to the people of Bara to go to the islands. So when we talk of integration, the first thing we are talking about is prosperity. It's not a luxury. It's not that I love you or I don't like you. Whether I like you or not, in order to work for my prosperity, I must work for integration. When Idi Amin took over Uganda, the economy of Uganda collapsed. When the economy of Uganda collapsed, Uganda became a province of Kenya economically. All the factories in Uganda collapsed. Everything was coming from Kenya. From 1971 to about 1990. Therefore, you can say that for almost 20 years, the economies of Kenya and the economies of Uganda were one. The factories of Kenya were taking advantage of the two countries. Nevertheless, Kenya, which was selling within Kenya and selling also in Uganda, did not become a modern country. It is still, I normally laugh when I hear people spending a lot of time trying to find out which pygmy is taller than the other one. Therefore, if you study the example of Kenya, for instance, you'll find that the internal market, if you want to develop, unless you want to conserve backwardness, because that was also an option, you can conserve underdevelopment. But if you want to develop, you need the internal market of each of these countries. You need the regional market, but you also need the international market. Because if the regional market could develop a country, Kenya would have developed, because it had the monopoly of the market of Kenya and of the market of Uganda, and even you could say some other parts of East Africa. Another example I can give you is China. China has become the second biggest economy in the world. What were the stimuli that stimulated the economy of China? Remember, China, even without trading with other countries, is a country of 1.3 billion people. But those 1.3 billion people were not enough to transform the market of the economy of China. It was when it started trading with the whole world that it now became what it has become. Even India, you can also go and study that, you the experts, because you are experts. Me, I'm not an expert, I'm just a freedom fighter. Therefore, we need, when we talk of East Africa, we are talking of prosperity for our children, for our companies, for our businesses, for our professionals. The singers, why can't the singers develop? Why don't you have big singers like the ones you have in America? They just die here. They sing here in Manzese, then from Manzese. Baada ya miaka 10 unauliza fulani alikwenda wapi? But he can't develop because he can't go to Nairobi. Nairobi is closed. Kama anajaribu kwenda Nairobi, hapa ni kwa Wakenya. He can't go to Kampala. They are confined. But in America, you sing in California. From there, you go and sing in Atlanta. The whole area is open to you to push your talent. So the first point about integration is prosperity. The second point is security. The Americans are saying that they want to be superior on land, superior in air, superior at sea, but also superior in space. They want to be superior everywhere. Now, Uganda is a developing country. Tanzania is a developing country. Kenya is a developing country. They will develop. Uganda will become a first world country. That's what we are working for. But if you remember some history, you know that in the Second World War, the first victims of aggression were highly advanced but smaller countries. The Netherlands, this was the first to be conquered by Hitler. Denmark, even France. Switzerland managed to piga chenga by saying, for us we are neutral. Therefore, modernity alone was not enough to defend those countries. So if you think of security, strategic security, in the world of the United States, the world of China, the world of Russia, India, there are only 4 people who have been to the moon now. The Americans have been to the moon, the Russians have been there, the Chinese have gone, the Indians have gone. It is we who are still here. So those people are there at the moon, they are looking at us. Just like ants. Kuna hii madudu inakula sukari. I don't know what you call them. They are called emunyu.